Hello students, how are you all? Okay, so let's start with today's science class of class 6. So we have started with lesson 3 in which we were discussing about natural fibers. Today we will discuss about natural fiber wool, which is an animal fiber. So wool is obtained from the fleece of sheep or goat. As I told you, it is a natural fiber which is obtained from animal. So it is mainly obtained from sheep or goat. Now what is this fleece? Fleece means the hair of the sheep or goat. When you see a sheep or a goat, very thin whitish hairs are present over the body. So this layer of hair is called fleece. So fleece will act as a fiber for making wool. So these are the steps involved in preparing woolen cloth from woolen fiber. So first step is shearing. The process of removing the fleece of sheep is called shearing. Means we know that the fleece here is acting as a fiber. So we have to first remove it from the body of the sheep. This process is called shearing. This can be done by using either trimmers but it will not cause any harm to the animal. So the fleece will be removed. After that it will be cleaned and then combing will be done. When the shearing is being done, a thin layer of the skin, the fleece is removed along with the thin layer of the skin of the sheep. That skin is removed along with the hair, but it will not cause any harm to the animal. After that, the cleaning will be done because the fleece over the body of the sheep is not as clean. So it has to be first cleaned to remove any dirt or dust particles present over it. Then next step will be combing. After cleaning the fleece, it is then combed with the help of either by using hands with the combs or by using machines, so that all the hair or fleece will be arranged properly. The next step is spinning. In this step, the fleece which is obtained after combing will be spun into fibers. In spinning, the fibers will be spun into yarn or thread, that we have already discussed when we have discussed the making of cotton fabric from cotton fiber. Next step is knitting. After making the yarn or thread, then knitting step will be done, in which the fibers or the yarns, they will be crossed with each other to form the cloth or fabric. So these are the steps involved in making the woolen fabric from woolen fiber. So I will show you this with the help of a video, then it will be more clear to you.
Let us study the process by which wool is obtained from sheep one step at a time. First, the fleece is removed from the body of the sheep. A machine is used for the purpose. The process of removing the fleece of the sheep from its body with the help of a machine is called shearing. Shearing does not hurt the sheep. This is because the uppermost layer of the sheep's skin is dead. Usually, hair is removed during the hot weather. This enables sheep to survive without their protective coat of hair. Then the sheared skin with hair is washed thoroughly in tanks. This exercise is undertaken to remove grease, dust and dirt. This process is called scoring. The washed hairy skin is sent to a factory where hair of different textures are separated or sorted. The small fluffy fibers called burrs are picked out from the hair. Fibers are dyed in various colors as the natural fleece of sheep and goats is black, brown or white. The fibers are straightened and rolled into yarn, and finally the wool is ready to use.
So next natural fiber is silk. Silk was first developed in China. For the first time, the silk cloth or silk fabric was first obtained in China. Now it is also done in India. So it is obtained from the cocoons of silkworm. So silkworm produce cocoons. When you will see the life cycle of silkworm, the cocoons are produced by the silkworm by spinning the 800-meter long thread around its larva or pupa. Then these cocoons are collected to make silk. It is one of the most expensive fiber, and these are the steps involved in the process of making silk fabric. So first step is collection of cocoons. So the silkworms, where the silkworms will be growing, the cocoons will be collected. These cocoons will then boiled in water, because these cocoons have small worms inside them. So to kill the worms, first they have to be boiled in water. After boiling, the worm will be killed, and then the cocoons, the silk fiber from the cocoon will be obtained by unwinding the cocoons, because cocoon is formed by wrapping of the silk fiber around the worm. When it is boiled in water, then the material which will glue the silk fibers together, it will be dissolved. So it will be easily unwind. Then the spinning will be done to obtain silk thread or yarn. Then further processing can be done to make silk fabric. Okay, so these are the steps involved in this process. Now there is a term related to this called sericulture. Sericulture is the rearing of silkworm for the production of silk. Because you know, silk is a very royal kind of fabric. So to fulfill its demand by people, it can be reared also, in which the silkworms are collected, and the silkworms, you know, they grow generally over the mulberry leaves. So artificially we just create an environment in which the mulberry leaves are collected, on which the silkworms will be grown by eating the mulberry leaves, and more silkworms will be produced, so that silk fabric collection can be increased. So this is all about the natural fiber silk.
Let us study the process by which wool is obtained from sheep one step at a time. First, the fleece is removed from the body of the sheep. A machine is used for the purpose. The process of removing the fleece of the sheep from its body with the help of a machine is called shearing. Shearing does not hurt the sheep. This is because the uppermost layer of the sheep's skin is dead. Usually, hair is removed during the hot weather. This enables sheep to survive without their protective coat of hair. Then the sheared skin with hair is washed thoroughly in tanks. This exercise is undertaken to remove grease, dust and dirt. This process is called scoring. The washed hairy skin is sent to a factory where hair of different textures are separated or sorted. The small fluffy fibers called burrs are picked out from the hair. Fibers are dyed in various colors as the natural fleece of sheep and goats is black, brown or white. The fibers are straightened and rolled into yarn, and finally the wool is ready to use.
Originated in China at least 5,000 years ago and became a coveted luxury. Silk thread is produced by silkworms when they make their cocoons. Sericulture, or commercially breeding silkworms for silk production, is practiced in several Asian countries. From home goods to accessories and clothing, there are few textiles as elegant and luxurious or as prized throughout the ages as silk. It's hard to believe this beautiful fabric comes from worms. The female silkworm lays up to 400 eggs in one shot, then promptly dies. Each egg, about 2 weeks later, hatches into a larva. The larva feeds on fresh mulberry leaves continuously, increasing its body weight 10,000-fold and growing to a length of about 3 inches. Then, as it enters the pupa phase of its life cycle, it excretes liquid raw silk from salivary glands in its mouth. When that liquid silk contacts with the air, it hardens into a single thread. Pupating larva winds that thread around itself into a thick, cozy cocoon. Normally, the pupa inside becomes a moth, and the cocoon breaks as it emerges. However, this severs the continuous silk thread, so to keep the thread intact, they boiled the cocoon for about 3 minutes to kill the pupa inside before it transforms into a moth. Boiling the cocoons also makes the wound thread easier to unravel by melting away most of the sericin, the gelatinous protein that binds it. To harvest the silk, they take threads from 30 to 50 cocoons at a time. They feed them all together through a hole in the bamboo stick onto a hand-operated reel. Then, slowly and carefully, they turn the reel, unraveling the cocoons. As the thread passes together through the stick, the remaining sericin glues them together, forming a single thicker thread. The silk threads coming together are so fine, only about 1/100th of a millimeter in diameter, that it takes 2,000 to 3,000 cocoons to produce a pound of silk thread. Unraveling cocoons is a time-consuming process because a single thread can be as long as 9 professional soccer fields. To make this feather-like silk thread easier to handle, they weigh it down with sand before rolling it into a bundle. Next, they wash away the sand and remaining sericin, then bleach the thread so it will uniformly absorb the synthetic dye. It's critical to monitor the ratio of dye to hot water, as well as water temperature and soaking time, as all these factors combined affect the quality of the color. After rinsing away the excess dye with lukewarm water, they hang the thread to dry. They mount the bundles of dry dyed silk thread on a big machine, which transfers them to smaller rollers. Those rollers then go on an automated machine, which transfers the thread to small bobbins. To craft silk fabric, weavers will pass bobbins of thread horizontally between vertical threads on a traditional hand-operated loom. Another machine, meanwhile, winds thread around spools. The worker then installs a set number of spool threads on a mechanism, which aligns them vertically on every second vertical thread, and with a tug of a cord, passes a shuttle containing a bobbin of thread horizontally in between. This intertwining of horizontal and vertical threads weaves the silk fabric. To create a pattern, the weaver uses multiple shuttles containing threads of different colors, thicknesses, and textures. Some patterns, such as an intricate weave called brocade, are so intricate.
Okay, so let us now see the next topic, that is history of clothing material. So, you know that the early humans, they did not know much about the clothes. As you can see, so you can see in this picture, figure 3.20, early humans used to wear large leaves and animal skin as clothes because they were not knowing much about the clothes. So they were used to wear the bark of trees and large leaves to cover themselves. They started using animal skins for clothing about 30,000 years ago. Means 30,000 years पहले जो human था वो एनिमल स्किन और लीव्स को यूज़ करता था एज देयर क्लोथ्स. दे वोर animal skins and wrapped fur around their bodies to keep themselves warm during winters. So in winters they used to wear the animal skin which make them warm, like the skin with the fur. After people began to settle in agricultural communities, they learned to weave twigs and grass into mats and baskets. And later on, as the people were going to settle in the agricultural communities, then they knew something about weaving. So they weave twigs and grass into mats and baskets. तो जैसे आपने देखा होगा ना, पुराने टाइम में जो हट्स वगैरह बनाते थे, मैट्स वगैरह बनाते थे, तो they were used to do by weaving process. Earlier stitching was not known. Baskets. Later humans developed the technique for spinning and weaving cloth from fluffy substances of the cotton plant. Then they came to know about the spinning process, spinning and weaving both. So they started making cotton clothes. The clothing was invented between 50,000 and 1 lakh. In ancient Egypt, cotton and flax plants were cultivated near the river Nile and used for making fabrics. Then in ancient Egypt, the cotton and flax plants were used to weave and spin to make fabrics. In India, the use of cotton spread around 3000 BCE. So India में ये 3000 BCE से start हो गया था. In China, silkworms were domesticated to produce silk fibers. So China is, the first country which produced silk cloth. So they produced silk cloth and by using silkworms. The domestication of silkworms in China started around 3000 BCE. When India started producing cotton clothes, China started producing silk clothes. The fibers were then spun into thread which were woven to make silk cloth. Earlier stitching was not known. Women used to wear sari and men used to wear dhoti. So you know that our traditional